Listen, there's a lot of mistakes that you can make in PT school that are going to cause you to struggle from an academic standpoint. But of all the mistakes that you could possibly make, there is one that you just cannot afford to make, and you need to clean it up and take care of it as soon as you can. And if you do that, your time in PT school is going to get a lot easier. And the best news is that it's actually really easy to clean up. So I want you to stick around and watch this video because I'm going to share with you how you can go about doing that. So let's get to it. Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Before we get started today, real quickly, I just want to say that if you have not met me before, my name's Jim. I'm a physical therapist. There's two things you got to know about me. One, I absolutely love sharing my knowledge and expertise with the general public in any way I can to help them out. And I love helping students who are in PT school become the best possible students and physical therapists that they can become. So if any of that interests you in any way, shape, or form, please hit the like and subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you're getting all the content that I'm putting out there. All right, with that all out of the way, let's get to today's video. Okay, the first thing that we're going to talk about here when it comes to struggling academically in PT school. What I need you to keep in mind before we even get to the biggest mistakes and all that type of stuff, I need you to remember that a lot of students struggle while they're in PT school, so you're not the only one. If you find yourself feeling like you're in over your head academically and you just can't get things figured out, take a step back, breathe, and know that a lot of students are in the same boat as you are. Just doing that can really help you out. It can help put your mind at ease because plenty of students in the past have struggled and still got through PT school. You can too, so keep that in mind. I want you to remember that because viewing it through that lens and remembering other people who have struggled along the way and have gotten through is going to help you remember that you can do that as well. All right, mistakes leading to academic struggles. There's a lot of different mistakes that you can make, but today I'm talking about the big one. This one, you have to clean it up, you have to take care of it. And if you're making this mistake for any course that you're struggling in, whether it's one course or two, three, or more, whichever courses that you're struggling in, you take what I'm going to tell you now and you apply it to those courses. If you're not struggling in courses, and if certain courses are easier, you don't have to apply this concept to those courses. It helps if you still do, but I understand that you have to prioritize things in ways that work best for you. So think of the one course that you might be struggling in the most right now, or even the course that you have struggled the most with in the past. For any course that you're struggling in, you cannot, under any circumstances, afford to go into the lecture or the lab for that day without first having gone over the notes of what will be covered for that lecture or that lab. Now, ideally, you'll actually have covered the notes even further out beyond that, maybe a couple lectures or even a week or more. That's very doable, it's possible, you have to be smart with your time, but yes, it's incredibly possible. But if nothing else, for that lecture or that lab for that day you're going into, you need to have gone over the notes and looked through everything and done your preliminary work ahead of time before any of that course starts for lecture or lab. All right, so what do I mean by that, by preliminary work? What I'm talking about is you print off your notes, whether they're slides or however your professors are delivering notes. You look at those notes and you go over them slide by slide or page by page, and you do things like, okay, what are the big concepts and themes that we're looking at here? Is there terminology that I can start to learn or understand or study right now? Or again, is it, okay, well, are we looking at different diseases and pathologies and conditions? Can I read up on any of those ahead of time? I'm not saying that you need to become an expert on all of those things going into the lecture. You just need to have a picture of what you're up against for that lecture. When you do that, what happens is you can say, okay, well, these slides all made sense. This, that, and that made sense. But this slide here, I don't understand the topic. I don't understand the concepts. So I'm going to make a note of that so that when we're in lecture or when we're in lab and the professor brings up that slide or that concept or whatever else it is, hand goes up and you say, got a question on that. If you're prepared and ready for that, what's going to happen is now you can get feedback on that topic or that question that you have right away. Now, what I encourage all of you to keep in mind is that if you've gone over your notes preliminarily and you got questions, man, put that hand up when time comes in lecture. If your classmates don't like it, who cares? I put my hand up a number of times in lecture, and even in lab, I spent time asking professors different questions. I do not care what other students think about me asking those questions. I do not care what anyone else thinks. because I was not in school for them. I was in school for me and for the future patients who were counting on me to do well in school and get through it so that I could help them in the future. That was my outlook, and that's still my belief. And I don't want you to be concerned about what other people think of you as you try and better yourself. Now listen to me closely here. It's not easy, especially in courses that you struggle with, to actually preemptively study and prepare for each and every lecture before you've gone into it. I get that, but you need to find a way to do that. You need to find a way. It's possible. You're going to have to find out what works best for you. You make sacrifices with giving up some social time or some leisure time, whatever you have to appropriately give up to make that happen. There's a quote by Dave Ramsey that I really like. And the quote says, "The level of intensity will dictate the level of sacrifice." Think about that for a second. The level of intensity will dictate the level of sacrifice. The more serious you are about staying not only caught up, but being preemptive on each one of these courses, the better off you're going to be for it. But you have to understand that the more serious you are, the more sacrifice you have to make. All right, so what does this look like in a real world context? Let's say you're in orthopedics class and you're going through different diseases or conditions, or again, different evaluative techniques, and you're saying, okay, well, that makes sense, but I don't understand this, I don't understand that. What do you do then in that circumstance before you go into lecture? You have your resources set up in place, so you go, okay, I'm gonna go on orthobullets.com and I'm gonna scour everything on there, see what I can find on there. All right, okay, nope, couldn't find anything on there, or I kind of got some information. Great, I got a classmate I'm gonna go to, I'm gonna pick their brain. Or maybe you got a friend who's a PT and you reach out to them. Whatever it takes, it's not stupid if it works. As another example, maybe you're in a rehab course and you're going over prosthetics and you're looking at it going, okay, there's a lot of terminology here. We got stump shrinkers, we got AFOs, HK AFOs, we got, holy smokes, there's a lot of terminology here. Study that terminology ahead of time, because when you have terms locked into your head, it's easier to understand everything else that's being delivered in a lecture or in a lab. Things go over your head really, really quick when you don't even understand the terminology being thrown around. So even those types of steps will pay massive dividends for you. Now, it doesn't stop there. If you really want to make sure that you're getting all that you can out of these courses that you're struggling in addition to doing all your preemptive work and doing everything that you can to learn and master what you can on your own, you also have your professor's office hours. And so you go to your professors and their office hours and you say, hey, look, I'm not coming to you here without having tried my best already. Here's what I've done. I've done X, Y, and Z, and I'm still having a hard time with this. I still don't understand this. I'm coming to you now to help me out even more. So when you visit your professors for those office hours, again, you go in there letting them know you've done all that you can to learn everything as best you can on your own, but you still need their help. That's what they're there for. You just make sure that you're not going to them, asking them to teach you everything again without you already having tried to figure out and do a lot of work on your own. So when it comes to struggle, everyone, I want you to remember you are growing through struggle. Are you going through it? Yeah, but are you growing through it? Absolutely. You need to make sure though you're staying preemptive as best as you can. Find ways, even if you're struggling, to be preemptive. Yes, you also have to go back and learn material you're still having a hard time with understanding. But what you need to do is also find ways to be preemptive. If you do that and you clean up that mistake, that is going to help you out immensely. I've seen it play out numerous times with so many PT students and students in other healthcare professional programs as well. So be preemptive about your studies. Remember that lots of students struggle and that you're going to get through this. All right, everyone. And of course, if there's any other information that you feel is beneficial and helpful for students to know, please leave them in the comments section below, because I can't cover everything in one video. So I want you to leave any comments below pertaining to mistakes that you've made that you feel you want to share because it can benefit other PT students, or any other insight that you feel will help students out. Please leave them in the comments section below so that we can build up a community and we can all help each other become the best PTs that we possibly can become. All right, everyone, that's all I've got for today's video. Little bit of a rant, but I want you to smash PT school. I don't want you just to eke on by. I want you to thrive. Not just survive, but thrive. And I know you have it in you. You just got to find a way to bear down, hunker down, and get this done. You will make it through. You will do great things as a PT and in the clinic, and you will do life-changing work for those who need your services. So hang tough and grind hard. I know you've got this, and I will see you in the next video.